Hey, thanks for accidentally clicking on Tablenauts. I'm Doolin, and I'm going to count down 10 games that I've played recently that are co-op games that I'd like to rate for you, review really quickly for you, and let you know if I'm going to keep or cull them. I've actually been going through my entire collection of 300 plus games, and I'm getting towards the end of the year where I'm trying to get through all of them. There will be a number that's going down like right here that will tell you where I am in the state of things. All 10 of these are great except for one. First up is a game, or at least a variant of a game that you guys should all fairly recognize. This is Pandemic Iberia, which I would argue is the best version of Pandemic. This is before things like airplanes, and so you're actually going to be building railroads around the map to try to get there faster. Purified water becomes really, really important for trying to get rid of diseases in areas. I love this. I actually love the theme. I bought this for Emily a long time ago, like early on when we were both like learning like a love for board games, because Emily loves Spain. I've since traveled there with her, and so like all of the azulejos and the design of it is actually really, really fun to go back to. But it's actually, I think it's, if you're tired of base Pandemic, this is the Pandemic to go to, because it's not only harder, but there's variants for the diseases, so each disease can work differently if you want to add some variability to the game. All of the positions that you're playing as are harder, and there's other variants that you can throw in that are in the base box that make the game infinitely more replayable and also more difficult. For me, this is a 4.5 out of 5, which is not like 4.5 and 5 are really like that's the upper 20% of my game collection, and I love it. It's incredible. It's very fun to play even solo, and so yeah, I'm keeping this for a while. Next up is a game that I've actually owned for a year and a half now. I'm a little disappointed that it's taken me this long to play it. Maybe 2.5 years now. But this is Dice Throne Adventures. I bought this at Gen Con along with a big haul of games, I believe 3 Gen Cons ago. What got me to play it was actually getting Marvel Dice Throne, and I played Marvel Dice Throne as well, and so like this is just so fun. It's a cooperative variant of that, so you're going, like, there's even like this map where you're moving around and you're having to fight different baddies, and then you're ending each dungeon delve with a boss fight that works exactly like, all of the fights work exactly like base Dice Throne with a little bit of variancy in between. As a big fan of co-op, I love that they have this. I love that this is a possibility. I love playing. I played it solo. I can't wait to play through this with Emily, because I think that'll actually be the best way to enjoy this. But Dice Throne Adventures is incredibly fun. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Another 4.5. These games are great. I love co-op games, and I have saved some really good ones for this specific list. Next up was one of, this is awesome. This is actually one of the first of my pre-ordered / kickstarted games that has arrived and actually exceeded expectations, and is one that I'm definitely keeping. And this is Keep the Heroes Out. Keep the Heroes Out is a cooperative. I can call it spooky, but like it's like cute spooky, where you're playing skeletons or gelatinous cubes or a dragon, and essentially your goal is to keep these pesky D&D-esque heroes from collecting all of the loot inside of your dungeon. And that's super cool. Like, it's a complete twist on like a classic dungeon delve. This is dungeon defense game, and I love that actually, because each monster type is unique, because some of them are really good at attacking, others are really good on the defense, and then others are just really good at maneuvering people around. This is the type of game that I think younger crowds and also like seasoned board gamers will find a way to love. And it's one of those games too that like it's pretty replayable, because there's like 20 or so sessions, and the maps you can build out yourself. You can make your own map. It's just really neat. I like the idea of a game like this existing, and I'm excited to keep playing it and introduce this to people who I think specifically Jeff and Jamie would absolutely love this game. For me, this is a 4 out of 5. I only played it once, and I've only played session 1, but I think by the end game, like when it gets really difficult and I've learned how to play the game and I'm getting really good at it, like this could get raised up. But let's get to the one that I'm a little mad about. I have in my possession Alter Quest, which is a game made by Blacklist Games, and Blacklist Studio or Games or whatever is a company that I got really excited about all the way back pre-pandemic. Like early on in my board gaming, like Tablenauts starting, everything. You can probably find videos of me talking about how cool it is that there is this Kickstarter, but for 50 or 60 bucks, they were promising about 120 plus miniatures. I finally got that like 3 years late, and after the quartermaster or QML had basically said we will fulfill it because you can't afford to pay us. And then on top of that, Blacklist Games now has like 2 or 3 withstanding Kickstarters that their bosses have just gone radio silent on. And I will say, like, nothing is promised on any of these platforms ever. And so I got, like, I took a chance and I took the wrong chance, and that's okay. I'm just letting you know. I don't want to review this game and point you guys towards it. If they, like, I don't want to point you towards the company at all. They've scammed a lot of people as of late, and that's awful. That's horrible, and it makes the rest of the board game landscape look horrible. But you know what? I got it played. It's off my list. It's all out of my mind, and I'm calling it. Next up is a party game that I love to play with Emily by ourselves, just cooperatively. So Clover is this word based, like, Codenames-esque game where you're going to get these Clover dry erase boards, and you're going to have 8 words around the board, and essentially using those 2 words that are on pointing to each of the 4 Clover spots, you're going to write a word that points towards both of those clues, so that when those 4 cards get picked up and shuffled with 1 random card, everyone else at the table is going to look at your dry erase board and try to fit those 4 exact cards in the exact way that they were on your Clover board. And this is really fun. It's one of those games that, much like Wavelength, is just one that, like, generates conversation and generates laughter. And I've yet to really play this and thought that was a waste of time. Genuinely, most of the time, it's just hilarious, fun, and a really good way to end game nights. I think So Clover is just like a nice little exclamation point, which is funny because I think So Clover ends with an exclamation point. It's a good exclamation point on a game night. Like you've had a lot of fun, you've done a lot of thinky games, and then now let's play some So Clover and laugh and think a little bit more, because you have to be clever, but don't think too hard. Don't take it too seriously, because yeah, it's just fun. For me, So Clover is a nearly perfect party game. I'm giving it a 4.5. But it might be a 5. I think Codenames is a 5. It just gives me something a little bit more that So Clover doesn't. But 4.5 out of 5 for So Clover. And it's a keep. All of these are a keep except for Alter Quest. Alter Quest, not even gonna. You know what? Let's stop talking about it. We have 2 more, and these are, well, I say 2 more. I have 5 more. One of these is really 4 games in one. It took a really long play to do this, but I've played through parts of an entire campaign of Doomed Run from Setawatch. And Setawatch is 3 base games, and Doomed Run is a campaign run of the game. Setawatch, the base game, is this really fun dice manipulation D&D, like solo D&D experience where you have a party of heroes. They have limited actions based off of their dice that they have, and how powerful of a dice roll that they rolled. And then you have a line of monsters that every single night is going to be coming after you. And each Setawatch phase consists of a watch phase, which is you send one of your 4 heroes. After you've rolled all of the dice for every single hero, you decide on which one you're going to send to do the watch actions, which include chopping wood for the fire to see further down the line and not die. You can scout ahead at what type of monsters there are going to be. You can equip unused abilities. You can heal. You can do like that character's specific like special action. And then the 3 other heroes are going to use the dice that they rolled before even the watch phase started to fight off all of the monsters in a row. And this is just a like super strategic, like maybe more strategic than any other solo game that I've played. And the thinkiness and puzzliness of, okay, how do I get rid of these monsters the most efficiently so that I don't end up with monsters at the end that just do damage to me, is really fun. And Set a Watch Base is a 4 out of 5. It's a great game. But Swords of the Coin came along and added in new types of monsters. It added a market phase where, depending on like things that have happened and the coins you've collected, you can spend those on getting equipment, and that made it like even better. I loved it. And then Forsaken Isles came out and made the game even harder by adding in Doom tokens and worse monsters to have to fight. And then Doomed Run came out, and guys, it's a 5 out of 5 easy. Like, this is one of my favorite things I've ever played. And this campaign of a game that I already loved turned into a campaign is like, I'm eating it up. Like, Doomed Run is amazing, and I know that it takes a lot of buy-in to like be able to play it with the 3 different sets of Set a Watch, but each of them are like $20 to $30 each. And you can just play like it. I would highly recommend, if you have not, buy Swords of the Coin or buy the base Set a Watch game. Play it, decide if you like the system, and then if you like it, consider investing and getting Doomed Run, because it is amazing. That counts as 4 different plays though, because there's Set a Watch, Swords of the Coin, Set a Watch Forsaken Isles, and then Set a Watch Doomed Run. And all of those were logged into BG Stats and were ones I had to get plays of. So all of them are played. We have from that same company, who I just love, even though I did just get rid of one of their games, the Seas of Havoc game. I was, it's okay. I can't get people to really enjoy it, and I think that they're best when they're played solo. Like, their games are best when they're played solo. Is Maximum Apocalypse, and this one I think is Wasted Wilds is what I own. Yeah, the Wasted Wilds, which is like a Mad Maxy Fallout experience. This is a co-op game where heroes are trying to maneuver around this like landscape, discover places, fight monsters, survive the wasteland, meet different clans of people, and trade with them to try to either make them on your side or just straight up fight them, and then all of a sudden you become the villain of the story, essentially. And each part of this like campaign, which it's like Zombicide, you can play each of them individually, but really it's I think it's best when you play them in chronological order, because it tells the story, and sometimes it tells you to save. Either way, it's really great, and I love that it just makes me feel like I am playing Fallout or in the Mad Max universe. Rock Manor is just really good at making these games, and know that I've talked with them before. I don't get sponsored by them at all. They don't give me any of their games. I would love they would, just because I love them so much, but like, I will continue shilling, so it would probably not be in their best interest, because I'm going to talk about them anyway. But Set a Watch is amazing. Maximum Apocalypse is not as good in my mind as Set a Watch, but it's still a 4.5 out of 5 outstanding game. If any of these games interested you at all, we would highly recommend and would love if you would help us out by taking a look through the Noble Knight link down in the description below. They sponsor us, and it's a really nice sponsorship. They help us get games that we continue to play and talk about here. So it really it helps us continue to do this channel. And so if you like our channel, at least consider looking at some of their prices, especially around the holidays if you're buying games anyway. Thank you so much for watching up to this point, and I'll see you next time.